Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today in Chicago's Ukrainian village because innocent, peaceful Ukrainians are being slaughtered by Russian invaders. I want to thank the Polish, Lithuanian, Belarus, Bosnian, Latvian, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstani, Georgian, Estonian, and other ethnic community representatives for joining us here today. Last week, President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the future of European democracy is being decided now, here in Ukraine. I would add that the future of democracy and rule of law for the entire world is being decided now in Ukraine. Ukraine is not only defending its own democracy, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, but defending these values which we in America and our allies hold dear. When President Clinton needed assistance to quell the genocide in the Balkans, NATO called upon Ukraine to send its military. When President Bush needed a coalition of the willing to provide assistance in Iraq, NATO called again upon Ukraine, and Ukraine sent troops. Ukraine has been a very active member in the NATO Partnership for Peace program. Today, Ukraine has been invaded by a monster. And NATO cannot say, sorry guys, but you aren't a member, so we can only do so much. This is not acceptable. We Americans and our allies owe Ukraine a lot, and now we must pay up, even if we have to share some economic pain. Remember, every Ukrainian soldier's boots on the ground is one less American soldier there. Ukrainians will fight Putin's voluntary war of aggression. Ukrainians will resist the Russian invaders, but they cannot do it without our help. We appreciate the strong support of our Illinois congressional delegation as shown for Ukraine, and we appreciate that you, along with our other elected officials, are here with us on this day. We will begin our event with a prayer for peace. I now call upon Bishop Benedict, Bishop of the St. Nicholas Eparchy.
A few days ago, we heard about this news, aggression, war to Ukraine. But it's not a war with Ukraine and Russia. It's war with aggression and dignity, with Putin and all world. We don't have like Christianity weapon, but we have the very important weapon which we can use is our prayer. Let's together pray our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
I now call upon Igor Jachun, President of the Ukrainian Congress Committee of America, Illinois Division, the oldest and largest organization in the United States uniting the Ukrainian diaspora.
Thank you, Paul. For the media, I have to spell my name, so please bear with me. My name, middle name Ihor, I-H-O-R, and my last name, D-I-A-C-Z-U-N. And I have the honor and privilege of serving as the President of the Ukrainian Congress Committee of America, Illinois Division. Most Reverend Bishop Benedict, General Consul of the Government of Ukraine in Chicago, Serhiy Kolodov, Vice Consul General Drobot, Honorable Congressman Davis, Quigley, and I don't know, I believe Congressman Krishnamurti is on his way. He's here. Thank you. Governor Pritzker, it's a pleasure to have you here. And of course, our Mayor of Chicago, the Honorable Lori Lightfoot. Your support today shows your true faith in the Ukrainian community of Chicago and Greater Chicago. Thursday, the world awoke to a new reality. A nuclear-armed superpower invaded its neighbor. Putin, who calls Ukrainians brothers and categorically states that we are one people, unleashed his satanic forces on the Ukrainian nation. Russians have shelled kindergartens, orphanages, civilian buildings, and yesterday, of all things, a children's cancer hospital. These actions are war crimes and are designed for two purposes and two purposes only: to demoralize Ukraine and to create as much human tragedy to force the Ukrainians to capitulate. What Putin did count on was the resolve and the will of the Ukrainian people not only to resist, but to fight and fight hard. The armed forces of Ukraine have proved to be a formidable force and have repelled Russian invaders, and they have not been able to take a single major population center. President Zelensky has proven his mettle and resisted any and all calls to lay down arms and surrender. Putin has called upon the Ukrainian military not to just lay down arms, but to turn them on the leadership, calling them fascists, neo-Nazis. How can a country that elected a Jewish president be neo-Nazis or fascists? Make no mistake, Putin's only aim is to destroy Ukraine, destroy our language, our culture, and our heritage. He is now threatening Sweden and Finland for their stated desire to join NATO. Putin sees NATO and the European Union as existential threats to his control over Russia and what he terms the near abroad. Russian oligarchs, though, are allowed to live in luxury homes and apartments in various European cities, and their children attend the best Western schools, and their fortunes are only allowed due to his benevolence. He has fueled war in Georgia, Syria, and now Ukraine, and meddled in elections to gain support and build a cadre of useful idiots, both on the extreme left and on the extreme right. This must end, and end now. The Ukrainian diaspora across the free world calls upon the United States and every civilized country in the West to call Putin what he is, a war criminal. The United States, the United Nations, and every civilized country has to declare Russia a terrorist state and remove all, not some, but all Russian banks from SWIFT. Cripple their economy, and make them pay. We call upon America and the West to send arms and humanitarian aid to our brothers and sisters and to avert the looming human tragedy. The Russia of Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, and Tchaikovsky is dead. The Russia of today is the spawn of Lenin, Stalin, Beria, and Putin. It is a pariah state. In an interview Friday, Dmitry Medvedev said that Russia no longer needs to negotiate with anyone and that they can padlock their embassies. He also stated that from moving forward, they will now look at the world only through binoculars and gun sights. President Biden and leaders of the free world, accommodate his wish. Remove every diplomat from Moscow. Expel every Russian diplomat and every Russian FSB agent that masquerades as a diplomat or a journalist from the free world. I'd like to quote the words of Ukraine's greatest poet and bard, Taras Shevchenko. Борітеся, поборете, вам Бог помагає. За вас правда, за вас слава і воля святая. To paraphrase, fight the victory. God is helping, for your side is the side of truth, glory, and freedom. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless Ukraine. Slava Україні!
I now call upon the Consul General of Ukraine in Chicago, Mr. Serhiy Kolydov.
Thank you for this possibility, honorable governor, honorable mayor, others, dear Ukrainian community, dear American friends, and dear friends from all nations and nationalities. For 4 days, a full-scale war launched by Russia against Ukraine continues at the very heart of Europe. The enemy has slowed offensive operation in selected areas with the support of long-range operational and tactical aircraft. Higher precision long-range weapon deliberately hits civilian infrastructure. The most intense fighting occurred around the city of Kiev, in the northeast, Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, and in the south, Kherson, Zaporizhia, Mariupol. Ukraine fights, but now we are not alone in the war. The world supports Ukraine. The international coalition in defense of Ukraine and the peace continues to grow. As now, there are 73 countries and 9 international organizations support us. We count upon the proper reaction by the international community. We are grateful to our partners, especially our partners from state Illinois and city of Chicago. Thank declaration from the city of Chicago for the support of Ukraine. And we have provided and continue to provide additional support, and in a variety of ways. For the decision of Turkey to block the access of Russian warship to the Black Sea. For introducing ammunition sent over to us for our partners. For the humanitarian support and refugee camps provided to the citizens of Ukraine in Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Romania, Moldova. For fuel supplies, Azerbaijan, Saqqara. Russian cities have already been detained for participating in peaceful protests. Ukrainian people are dying for the freedom of Ukraine and Europe. We have been waiting at the open door for a long time. We asked about NATO membership and hear no answer. We now need international legal guarantee of security, a clear European perspective, coupled with a swift and effective actions. We believe that we, Ukrainians, have not earned our right to be the part of the European Union. And we urge the international community to show solidarity with Ukraine by the immediate imposing of the massive, severe, coordinated sanctions against Russia, Russia's isolation and inclusion from all possible international fora, every international organization, the introduce of a full-fledged trade embargo on Russia, including in gas sector and oil sector too, further closure of airspace for Russia aircrafts and ports for the Russian vessels, supporting Ukraine with weapons, protective equipment, ammunition, fuel, and whatever else necessary to counter the biggest army in the continent, providing Ukraine with financial support. We appreciate the sanctions imposed by our partners in the world, especially the strongest sanction already imposed by the United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, which will severely undermine Russia's economy and financial capacity to continue this aggression. We expect the world to make
Help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine!
USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine! USA, help Ukraine!
I would now like to ask Congressman Danny Davis from the 7th District to please come forward. He has been a stalwart friend of Ukraine for a long time, and we're very honored to have him here. Congressman Davis, please.
Thank you very much. You know, I am proud to know that I represent what is known as Ukrainian Village in the city of Chicago. It is a great honor and a great privilege. But I was taught early in life that freedom is a hard-won thing, and every generation has to win it and win it again. Therefore, I'm proud to stand here with all of the freedom-loving people, to stand here with a great governor who knows how to serve and protect our state of Illinois, Governor Pritzker, and to have a man who's not only a tremendous administrator, but a great freedom fighter, the mayor of the city of Chicago, Laura Lightfoot. My colleagues who are here, Roger Krishnamurthy and Representative Quigley, they're the best in the West, the best that there is. But I want to say, to be called upon to say something before the governor, that we recognize it's Ukraine today, but it will be the United States tomorrow. It will be someone else the next day. I studied Russian history, and I can tell you Putin follows a path and a trend. And he knows all about Lenin, he knows about Stalin, he knows about Khrushchev, but we know about freedom and democracy, and we will keep it. Thank you very much.
You know, the young lady was right. Hope and prayers are essential, but when you're dealing with Putin, hope, prayers, and a javelin missile are even better. Hope, prayers, and stingers and machine guns are even better. I love the Putin the signs, right? It's amazing. Now, if you really want to anger this guy, tell him he's a lousy hockey player. I spoke to the president of Finland in 2018, and he said Putin scores 5 goals a game because everybody gets out of his way. The Ukrainian army is not getting out of his way. This is the spirit I saw in Kyiv after the Maidan. This is the spirit of the Ukrainian army and the resistance and all those fighting there. It is who we're with. I just want to share some good news. It's a little late in some respects, but it's never too late to help. Yep. The Chancellor of Germany announced that Germany will supply 1,000 anti-tank weapons, 500 Stinger missiles, and they approved the delivery of 400 more rocket-propelled grenades. The Netherlands is supplying 200 Stinger air defense missiles as quickly as possible. Poland announced it is shipping a convoy of ammunition. Belgium has pledged 3,800 tons of fuel and 2,000 machine guns. The EU has approved 1.2 billion in emergency financial assistance, and the UN is upping their assistance an additional $2 billion. Look, folks, people ask me, what can we do? Thoughts and prayers are good. Blocking the skies is better. And I was told that ethics doesn't allow me to tell you to write a check to a particular entity. Monday, I'm writing a check to humanitarian organizations. You all should do the same thing. Long live Ukraine. God bless.
Congressman Quigley is on his way back to Washington now, and he's got a series of meetings tomorrow. He'll be at the Ukrainian embassy, and he will also be at the Holodomor Memorial. Another young lady to please step forward, Зоряна Бандрівська.
Hello. In 2018, my sister was a camp counselor in Ukraine for children who have either been displaced or orphans due to the war that began in 2014. A camper, we'll call her Ira to protect her identity, who lives in Kramatorsk, had reached out to my sister saying that she could hear bombs and gunshots from her own home. I've been keeping in contact with her every day since the invasion, and she has been updating me. I just pray that there is never a day when she stops responding to my texts. I don't know if she will ever be safe, but I do know that she is not the only child who feels a constant fear in her own home. These words go out to every Ukrainian child who fears if they will survive till tomorrow. This is not the first time that Russia has tried to eradicate Ukraine. But it's never happened, and it will never happen, because we are all here to protest for our beautiful country. My heart beats for Ukraine, and I stand with Ukraine. NATO, we need your help. Slava Україні!
Героям слава!
The 8th District, please come forward.
Slava Ukraini! I am honored to be here. Thank you so much. I want to thank the board and all members of UCCA. I want to thank the governor, the mayor, my congressional colleagues, other dignitaries for attending, and of course, thank you to all of you for showing up. I want to say that on January 23rd, we gathered similarly to celebrate Ukrainian Reunification Day. At that time, my colleagues and I spoke strongly about our steadfast, unwavering support for the Ukrainian people as they confront Putin's Russia. They played portions of it on Russian television, and I'm paraphrasing. They said I was just a lowly Indian congressman supporting the Ukrainians. I'm glad that the Russians took note of my remarks, but they got a couple things wrong. First, I may be a humble congressman, but they should not mistake humility for meekness. I and all of us and our Ukrainian brothers and sisters will never shrink in the face of tyranny. Am I right about that? Second, I may be of Indian origin, but today we are all Ukrainians. We are Ukrainian in our love of freedom. We are Ukrainian in our love of peace. And we are Ukrainian in our love of democracy. Am I right about that? But make no mistake. Make no mistake about this. If dictators attack us, we will fight. If autocrats threaten us, we will never cower. And if tyrants seek to rule us, we will resist. We will resist and fight. We will toil and persist until the Russians are repelled and Ukraine prevails. Are you with me on that? Recently, a Ukrainian said that when the Russians attack, they will see our faces, not our backs. As God is our witness in front of this church, we will always have the Ukrainians' backs. We will always stand with them. I just want to say God bless Volodymyr Zelensky and his government. God bless the Ukrainian people. God bless Ukraine and God bless America. Slava Ukraini!
And this is a flag of the city of Kiev. And now I have the distinct honor of introducing the mayor of the sister city of Kiev, the mayor of Chikaago, Lori Lightfoot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here in a very solemn moment. I, like you, have been heartsick when we learned the news late at night our time that the Russians had, in fact, carried through with their weeks-long threat to invade the peaceful, democratic nation of Ukraine. We must stand with our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. I am grateful for the gathering of the elected officials who are here, the dignitaries, and particularly the Ukrainian American veterans who are here to our right. Thank you. We stand together today in solidarity with Chicago's Ukrainian community and this country of Ukraine. This community has historically been one of our oldest immigrant communities. The Ukrainians started coming to Chicago in the late 1880s and into the early 1900s. So you have been a part of the fabric of this great city from our earliest days. We stand united against the continued bombardment of Ukrainian cities and send our prayers to those who are sheltering in their homeland because of the murderous actions of Vladimir Putin. Putin has gone forward with his acts of aggression against the country of Ukraine simply because the people of Ukraine aspire to be free, to be a democratic country, and align themselves with other countries with the same aspirations for their residents. We must stand united against the Putin aggression against Ukraine. As you heard from another speaker, it's Ukraine today, but it will be another democratic, freedom-loving country tomorrow. We must stop him in his tracks, and it begins right here and now with Ukraine. Make no mistake, as we now all know, but we knew before that Putin is a ruthless killer. He doesn't care about his own people, and he certainly doesn't care about the people of Ukraine. We must stand and continue to support President Biden for taking a strong stand and uniting the Europeans against the aggression of Putin. But that isn't enough. And that's why we must provide humanitarian aid to the nations that are supporting Ukraine, like Romania and Poland, that are opening their borders to support the neighbors who are fleeing the violence. You heard earlier from the Consul General a long list of things that must be done immediately to support Ukrainians. Let me add to that list. We must urge our federal immigration authorities to provide temporary protective status for Ukrainians who may be in Chicago, and to open up our borders to Ukrainians who want to come here for freedom. So that they may be free.
Close the sky! 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 Close the sky!
We must also permanently punish Putin and his cronies so that they may never again dare attack another freedom-loving country like Ukraine. Kiev is our sister city, and we stand united with them. We must also say a prayer for the brave common Russians who are standing up in cities all across that country to brutal attacks because they dare raise their voice in opposition to Putin. We must say a prayer and support those Russians as well. Final point. This conflict will come to an end. As a person of faith, I know that we must continue to send our thoughts and prayers and stand in solidarity. But what we also must do is raise our voices. When they are at the negotiating table,
as we were protesting the buildup of the Russian aggression, Mike Quigley has been with us for many, many years. A strong advocate for us. He is the co-chair of the...
Thank you.
If anyone goes and stands up against him, he either poisons, kills, exiles. And this is exactly what
Thank you.
You know, I'm looking at everyone here and I'm thinking, what brings everyone here this afternoon? And you know what it is? It's loyalty, it's commitment to your country, and it's for freedom that you're all here for. And we stand united. You know, when I'm thinking about what Pablo said, I remember that day in January, how we were freezing. And I was amazed to see the number of people that were there as well. The wind was blowing tremendously. We didn't know how to hold our hands, and we didn't have our speeches prepared. Where are we going to talk? It's the wind is blowing, but nonetheless the message was there. And we're here together in unity, in solidarity. We've heard the remarks of the former speakers. They basically said one thing, that we need to be united. And we are united. As president of the Polish-American Congress, I am very proud to be here with you. Do you know why? Because our histories are very similar. Very, very similar. Poland was under attack for many, many years. And same as Ukraine, we're neighbors. Today, Poland...
Comedian of the yesterday became a strong man and a hero of today. You cannot conquer these people, you cannot subjugate this nation. Слава Україні!
Діти України, по цілому світу єднайтеся, шукайте один одного і говоріть, що ми встаємо з колін. Путін нагадав нам, що Україну подарував Ленін, тому він того Леніна і тримає по нині день. Він говорить нам словами загарбника, мучителя України. Чи можемо ми забути Соловки? Чи ми можемо забути ГУЛАГ? Чи можемо забути Голодомор? Чи ми можемо йому сьогодні простити за те, що він зробив в Україні?
Ніколи!
Йому навіть в себе в країні цей режим, який здавна, починаючи від царя Грозного, по нинішній день ніхто.
I am born and raised in Kiev. I've lived here for almost 30 years. There is not a single ethnic Ukrainian drop in me, but I am Ukrainian. I have three messages. One message is for all of us, for all of you here, that Ukrainian Jews, Russian Jews, Belarusian Jews here in the United States, outside of the United States, stand with Ukraine. I'm on the board of Council of Jewish Elderly, where first and foremost we help out the Holocaust survivors still alive. I know these stories, and I always wonder, how is this the world stood silent during the World War II for such a long time? Here we are, and here's my government, here's us. We're not silent, but what is this we're doing? What are we doing to stop the genocide of the Ukrainian people, regardless of who lives there now and who is fighting? The second message I have is for my government, for the representatives of my government, and the work that I do immigration. I understand how the refugee process works. And I know that my government right now needs help explaining why we need to open up a refugee path, to help Poland, to help European countries to resettle, to bring the most vulnerable refugees from Ukraine here to the United States. This cannot take years, this has to take now. There are children, there's 100,000 of children in orphanages in Ukraine. And somebody has to start taking care of them and save their lives. You can help, you can write to your representatives, you can write to the executive office.
Але хочу сказати, що світ стільки років був дволичний, і Сполучені Штати Америки, і Франція, і Німеччина, вони змовчали, коли Росія напала на Грузію. Вони змовчали, коли Росія напала на Сирію. Вони змовчали за Крим. І сьогодні ми всі з вами і весь світ пожинає ці плоди. Де була Меркель, коли 8 років йде війна, а вони будують газопровід в Росію, в Німеччину? Сьогодні ми вимагаємо від всього світу закрити Путіна в берлозі із його всім руським продажним народом. Ми вимагаємо закрити небо над Україною. Ми вимагаємо негайно зброї для України, такої, яка буде збивати желізний купол, яку Америка надала Ізраїлю. Чому ми мовчимо зараз? Сьогодні Путін ввів тривогу над ядерними силами Росії. Це є сигнал для всього світу. Це є приклад того, що довела їхня ця дволична політика всіх світових лідерів. Але сьогодні це все вийшло на яву. Сьогодні весь світ буде відповідати за їхню дволичність. Слава Україні!
Today, I'll speak in English. Today, we're not free. You know, we fought in 2020. We're still fighting, and it's not easy because we have the same enemy. We know this enemy very well, and we know that our dictator is helping him out. And of course, Belarusians from Free Belarus. We are sorry that Putin is using our territory and our land to go to Ukraine. We apologize, but we will learn to be strong. We will learn to be stronger. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight Putin. We're gonna fight Lukashenko.